juice when they was at LSU. They don't get that type of credit right there either.
Yep.
But
Alshon A. Sanders.
what's that?
A. Sanders and Alshon Jeffrey. Yeah, I mean, Alshon Jeffrey put up the stats.
Yeah, and I'd agree with the Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I think it's kind of like they are the guys. You know, Justin Jefferson went for like 1,700, and then Jamar Chase went for like 1,500. We'll probably never see those numbers again. But I think as far as like wide receiver duos, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, that's a great one right there. I think Jarvis Odell is also a great one. Another one for me, being a West Coast guy, definitely like the Robert Woods and Marquise Lee, 2011.
Oh yeah,
actually a very deadly combo that really pushed the envelope forward for USC receivers. And even we go from it kind of went from a nice little pass the torch. We go from Robert Woods to Marquise Lee to Nelson Aguilar. And even now you look at in the league, it's still plenty of guys. You got guys like Michael Pittman, guys like Clement St. Brown. So there's plenty of guys. Kind of torch been passed around with USC, but I think definitely LSU. You got to think either Odell and Jarvis or Jay Jettas and Jamar Chase. Is either one or the other.
Yeah, that would be my number one. Like an honorable mention, if we're going way back, I'd maybe like Texas Tech, Michael Crabtree and Danny Amendola when Texas Tech was rolling under Mike Leach. That would be like an underrated one. I think you could pick any of the five that Bama had at one time, whether it's Judy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs. Like, man, just pick two. But I would probably pick Judy and Devontae Smith if I had to pick one. You could throw Waddle in there, but Waddle got hurt, in the middle of his kind of breakout season. Right. You could throw any of those guys in there. If you want to go back, I don't remember the kid's name, but Percy Harvin had a running mate there for a little while at Florida where, you could pick a few different people.
Andre Caldwell?
You're talking about either Bubba Caldwell or
it might have been Caldwell, but I know they had that wide receiving core.
It actually might have been Riley. No, actually, it was Riley Cooper.
Yeah, Riley Cooper and those guys were balling. So those would be my picks. But I think that sneaky one at Texas Tech kind of gets overlooked because you think of Crabtree, but you forget Danny Amendola was there at the exact same time.
What about, an honorable mention? I wouldn't say it's best wide receiver duo, and correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but was it not Michael Thomas and Paris Campbell, or was it Michael Thomas and I feel like he played for the Panthers. What was his name? Coleman Jr.? Who's Michael Thomas's other side on wide receiver 2 for when Michael Thomas was there? Because Michael Thomas went through with Braxton, correct? Or was that
around the same time?
Or was it not Braxton? It was
it went from Braxton to JT to 12 gauge like in 2 years. So.
Or was it Cornell?
As far as what, the receiver?
The receiver. I'm trying to think. It was either Braxton Miller or it wasn't JT. I think it was. I want to say it was Braxton Miller. I want to say it was Michael Thomas, and I want to say it was. Oh man, who was on the other side?
Campbell.
Well, while you guys think about that, another underrated one that I was just kind of thinking about. Do you remember that 2013 Missouri wide receiving core with LaDainian Washington and Dorial Green Beckham that led the SEC championship?
Green Beckham.
They had some dogs on that Missouri squad.
Dude, till this day, Dorial Green Beckham. If you go like look on on 24/7 Sports, Dorial Green Beckham is literally rated as one of the highest recruits of all time.
Yeah,
like of all time.
I would say for 1 year, and I'm not gonna be biased, but I would say like, even though if he would have stayed healthy, I would have said AJ Brown and EK.
Yeah,
somebody just put it.
Yep.
Look at that.
You know what? What about the two guys who made Geno Smith into a first round pick, Tavon Austin and Stedman Bailey?
Now that's a good one. I was thinking Tavon, but I couldn't remember the kid's name that was with him, and I totally forgot about that.
Because Stedman Bailey had that. Stedman Bailey is, if I'm wrong, Stedman Bailey is the one that was in the horrific accident that almost left him brain dead. Correct?
Yeah.